Honestly, I'm not even sure I should be allowed to pick fights anymore with how bad I did during International Fight Week, but the game carries on. UFC is in Boise, Idaho for the first time. It is Junior Dos Santos versus Blagoy Ivanov. And listen, I think most people here are going to be siding with Junior Dos Santos simply because you probably haven't seen that much of Blagoy Ivanov fight unless you're one of the really, really hardcores. He is making his UFC debut. Physically, he's not the most impressive thing you're ever going to see, but he does have some talent. That said, Junior Dos Santos is hungry. After the year-long layoff, the battle with USADA, he is anxious to show people that not only is he still at top form, but that he is still a championship contender. He's mentioned potentially a trilogy fight with Stipe Miocic down the road, something like that. But listen, I think Junior's defensive movement, his takedown defense, and his striking are all going to lead to his favor here. Blagoy Ivanov is tough, and anything can happen in the heavyweight division, but me, Junior Dos Santos, all day long.
Bulgarian heavyweight Blagoy Ivanov has had a hard road to get to the UFC, and he gets his debut in the main event in Boise, Idaho. He's got a good record and he should be respected, but he's coming in against a guy in JDS who has a point to prove and a chip on his shoulder. He's seen the heavyweight division move on without him while he's been away on a USADA suspension for a banned substance in a contaminated supplement. Now JDS is getting back in there. Expect some fireworks from the Brazilian. He needs to make a statement on Saturday night, and I think he'll do just that. Junior Dos Santos gets it done inside 2.
Ivanov, I do think, is a guy who can bring the pressure, who can get on the inside and give JDS some trouble. If he can take him down, which I think is pretty hard, I do think JDS has very good takedown defense. Maybe he can even gain the advantage, but I do think in this fight, JDS has just been there before. He's fought the best guys in this division. Sure, he's coming off a loss to Stipe Miocic, but other than Daniel Cormier, everyone's coming off a loss to Stipe. So for me, I think his boxing's going to be the difference. I think he will be able to land that overhand or the uppercut and get the finish.
How much does Blagoy Ivanov have to bring to the octagon? I say a lot. I say he's one of the most underrated heavyweights outside of the UFC, and surviving being stabbed in the heart definitely says something about your will. That being said, I do feel that Dos Santos is a little too experienced, a little too routined to be able to fall for the traps that Ivanov is going to bring. I feel that Dos Santos probably learned a lot in his fights from Cain Velasquez, and that he will keep his fight standing and win by decision.
So I'm going for Junior Dos Santos in this fight. If you think about their last opponents in the recent years, it's hard to bet against him. I know it's MMA math, it doesn't always make sense, but if you add a debut in a main event with the spotlights of the UFC to that, it's going to build up some pressure for Ivanov. And skill-wise, Ivanov is a very accomplished Sambo fighter. He has his World Series of Fighting belt for a number of years. So I do not underestimate him. But still, I think that Junior Dos Santos could get this done, and I think he'll do it in the earlier rounds by TKO.
Junior Dos Santos, for me, on Saturday night against Blagoy Ivanov. And I just think if you look at the opposition Ivanov has faced in the past, I know he's beaten Alexander Volkov 4 years ago back in Bellator. Very, very good fighter. Lots of well-rounded, repertoire of skills in his closet. Lots of submission finishes, lots of knockout finishes. But if you just go back to Junior Dos Santos, on a different level from anyone he's ever faced before, the boxing's going to be key here. One of the best boxers in mixed martial arts in the world, in Junior Dos Santos. That's going to be the difference for me. I do expect him to finish the fight. UFC debutant Blagoy Ivanov not going to really trouble JDS too much here for me. I have JDS finishing this fight in Boise, in Idaho, on Saturday night.